This is a Galactic Network podcast.
The Podcast of Terror is a great podcast. It's covering movies that are not for children, and thus this podcast is not for children. The hosts are two adults who will use bad words from time to time. They'll also spoil movies if that's not your thing. So if you don't like spoilers and you don't want to hear some dirty language or some dirty references to dirty parts of your body, then please, please, please wash your body parts better and do not listen to this show. If you can handle it, and I hope you can because there's a great podcast coming up, then please proceed with Podcast of Terror.
Burn and fire, burn the fire. Burn and fire, burn the fire.
Yeah, we'll start this shit. Hey, did you know it's Mardi Gras today?
It's Fat Tuesday today. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Fat Tuesday. I didn't want to upset any of our big boned listeners.
Me? You didn't want to upset
me too. It's not like I'm much thinner.
I don't even know that there's bone involved. I think it's all cartilage.
Big Bone Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Someone I work with was like, "Oh yeah, tomorrow starts fillet of fish season," which is a thing to people in rural Wisconsin.
That's right.
Also, when I went to the store and I saw king cake everywhere, which I didn't know what king cake was until last year.
So what is it to you?
To me, it's just like a bundt cake with green, yellow and purple frosting, and then they put an almond in it, which is supposed to be the baby.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I remember is there's a baby in the king cake. So a friend of mine made king cake.
Yeah.
My friend Chris, who's definitely gone to New Orleans for Mardi Gras and stuff, and so I've had his version of it at his house. And Chris is an amazing cook, so it was delicious. I don't know if that's what I expect from regular king cake, but yeah, I think he actually used some sort of like plastic toy.
Yeah. So I think traditionally it's like a little baby toy or something. Well, the place that we got it from didn't tell us that it was an almond, which with nut allergies and shit. So someone that I work with got the almond, and then we fucked with the guy who bought it and was like, "Holy shit, Eddie's got a nut allergy, you fucking idiot." I think I used the R word on him, but which I think is really strange given the fact that nut allergies are so prevalent now.
Yeah. Did you remember that as a kid? I don't.
Nut allergies?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I was on a flight not that long ago, and the stewardess, flight attendant, said like someone has a severe nut allergy. No one have peanuts on this flight. I'm like, I don't ever remember that as a kid. I don't remember having to label something that it had peanuts in it when I was a child. When you brought something to school, right. I think personally, and my wife has a severe nut allergy, so I'm not minimizing the risk.
No,
I just think what it is that there's so much shit in food today that it's starting to like alter our genes that makes us more susceptible to stuff like that. Also, it could be a flat earther. I don't even know anymore.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to go. Is it like there's peanuts in too much stuff? Peanut oil? Did George Washington Carver screw us somehow? Like, where did this come from? But there's a lot of things that we just kind of develop over time, and they seem to come out of nowhere, and that it's weird because you hear it the first few times, you're like, well, that seems ridiculous. How do you have that allergy? And I've never heard of that before. And then all of a sudden it's everywhere.
Yeah.
My one of my best friends, Cisco, is allergic to garlic, and
oh damn.
And people have constantly in her life given her shit like, no, you're not really allergic. You just don't like garlic. It's like, I hate mushrooms. I despise them with a fucking passion. Plus, they chase me down and shit and steal my car. But I'm not allergic to mushrooms. I can eat a mushroom. I just would choose to jump off a fucking cliff instead. Cisco like hives up when there's garlic in the air. Like I've seen it happen, but because it's not a normal thing or a regular thing, people just choose not to believe her. And then they're like, oh, we'll just sneak a little garlic into what she's eating. And then she's immediately like, I feel really fucking sick.
Well, so I think part of the problem is that there is celiac disease, which means you are actually you get sick with gluten, and then there are people who are like, well, I'm gluten intolerant. It's like, are you gluten intolerant, or do you just not like the way, like, too much gluten will make you feel bloated and fucking disgusting. Yep. I've done it. I know. I completely understand that. But at no point am I ever like, well, I'm allergic to gluten.
I mean, I love gluten. It's my favorite thing in the fucking world.
Gluten makes the world go round.
And it definitely makes me swell up like a pillow, but then that just makes me feel restful.
That's every once in a while I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh boy. So yeah. But and I think to your statement is that I think what it is a lot of people are used to just someone saying like, well, I'm allergic to gluten. And it's like, no, you're not allergic to gluten. You just fucking, is that a rock and rye?
It is a rock and rye.
God damn, I haven't had rock and rye in forever. Mostly because
holding on to this one for the show.
There's no diet, but I think gluten intolerance, if you actually are celiac, is one thing, but just because you don't like the way it makes you feel or what fucking ever, that kind of bothers me because I do have a wife that is so allergic to everything that I think when people exaggerate how something makes them feel as being an allergy, it's kind of shitty.
I don't disagree with you. I think that is a problem, is that people do have severe allergies that get minimized because some people say they have allergies, just like people who have service animals that aren't actually service animals.
Yep.
Causes a problem for the people who desperately need their service animals.
Mm-hmm.
But I also am of the mind of like, yeah, but if someone tells you that they don't want something, don't fucking force feed them that thing. And honestly, how often are the animals that are labeled as service animals a big fucking problem? Like, okay, sure, you want to come on the plane with your dog? You come on the plane with your dog. I understand drawing the line at ostriches and alligators. That's a little weird. Or at least you have to buy them a couple seats. It should be based on weight, probably. It should be based on weight and how well behaved they are. And if you have a dog, even if it's a little dog, and it goes running up and down the aisle the whole time and shitting everywhere, you should probably get a cleanup fee for your fucking service dog. But overall, I'm not against you having it.
No,
I also see from the other side of like, if I have an ostrich allergy, and like not an intolerance, like a little bit of ostrich is going to make me pee a little when I laugh, but I mean like a lot of ostrich allergy, like I'm gonna bloat up and then actually fly away, unlike an ostrich, because those motherfuckers are minimalists. Then yeah, I that's a problem too. It's like, well, but I can't sit next to people with heavy perfume. I actually do have allergies to a lot of heavy odors and stuff. Like, it'll make me feel sick. It'll make me
sneeze,
not be able to breathe well.
Yeah. Well, I think that's just the shit that they use in those. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I had a client when I worked for Geek Squad years ago that she would put in the notes when she would schedule an appointment with somebody that not to have them wear cologne or perfume when they came out because she had severe allergies. And it was always kind of like this thing. It's like, but is she just being a bitch? Or is it that she actually has an allergy? I don't care, because the reality is that she doesn't want that in her house. I shouldn't drag that shit in her house. And I don't wear cologne or anything anyways. Even my deodorant is usually pretty minimal.
And that's like, I very seldomly do I wear cologne. Mostly because I'm married and I shower, so it's not like I need to cover up a scent, but I also don't need to smell so good that I need to sop them and drop them.
Well, what do you use for your shower gel or whatever?
Yes. Axe, which I think...
Yeah, and see, Axe is already to me like too much of a scent.
Well, and that's the thing, like, no, and that's like, I had to get like a subtle one, because I think Axe generally is overpowering. It's just like, I found it and I kind of like it, but now I'm getting to a point where I want to change. I don't use body wash to make me smell good. I just use it to be clean. The fact is that it's just, there's like a side effect is that there's a shitload of perfume in it.
There is. Yeah. And that perfume is probably another problem, is that we put these dyes and perfumes and everything, and it makes them overpowering, and we get too much of it, and then it causes more of a reaction over time. People who are slightly sensitive to it become more sensitive to it because it's in everything and it's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we're just old.
I mean, we are old. And that's the other thing too, is that when we were kids and growing up, it was like you walked off a sprained ankle and on the track. You were expected to just fucking suck it up.
Right.
And I think there's an element of sucking it up that is still kind of worth encouraging.
Okay, so I have a funny story about the term "suck it up."
Okay.
When I was in 8th grade, we took like a camping trip, and it was for school. Part of the camping trip was you ate like an MRE, the Army brand meals ready to eat, which generally bind you the fuck up because you're supposed to be in combat or in the field,
and you don't want to poop on the road.
Exactly. So I ate one, and it's now Monday, and the school attendant who took us on this trip was the gym teacher. I was in gym class, and I said, "Hey, man, I got a shit." Probably not shit because I was in 8th grade. I said, "Yeah, I have to make doo-doo butter." But he looked at me and he said, "You're a big boy."
That's probably what was the main ingredient in the MRE.
Probably. He goes, "Yeah, you're a big boy. Hold it." And like at that time, my mom helped out in our lunchroom, and I remember being at lunch.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were gonna say at that time my mom helped me shit.
Yeah, she wiped my butt. Wiped my boom boom hole. So she helped out with the lunch. So I remember going to lunch and being in such pain that I was doubled over. And she actually went to the principal and was like, "Your fucking guy, he's told my kid that he's a big boy, he can hold it." And then I think he got in some trouble, and I took the most massive Duke, probably a baby arm. But yeah, I think to your point, I've been drinking.
Was it because you ate the king cake?
Fucking wish I would have known what king cake was back then. Would eat the shit out of it. I think there's too much of like dude, you're an adult, you can handle it. Sometimes no.
Yeah. We need to find the level of it's okay to like, yeah, you can maybe be a little bit more controlled and stuff, but it's also like not okay to make people suffer.
Yeah.
Or to put them in physical danger. It's tough because it's tough to make that call because you're not a fucking doctor, you know?
Right. And I do agree that there's a...
And if a kid shits in the backseat of the bus, well, that kind of fucking serves you right.
Right.
Assholes.
Right. Yeah, there's a huge amount of like babying going on in our society, but I also feel like it stems from a place of relevance. Too much helicopter, and I'm not a parent, so I can't even. Don't listen to my parenting
that's the other
advice.
Part too is like we've been kids.
Growly bear,
rock on.
But that's the thing. I don't have kids, so I can't be like, well, this is how you should parent because I don't fucking do. I can barely take care of myself and my dogs. But
you put a lot of effort into taking care of your dog.
I really do. But the thing is like I think that there is a lot of merit to the go fucking play outside at summertime, be back when it's dark. And there isn't that because we now live in a society where I can look on my phone and see that fucking something terrible happened 2 states away, which then makes me worried to let my kid go outside because that could happen here. That shit happened when you and I were kids. No one just fucking knew about it because there wasn't an internet.
Or kids were so abundant, it's like, well, you lose one sometimes.
Well, yeah, once in a while, you're going to have to lose one. It's like in China where if too many girls pop out, you just sacrifice one or two.
Oh, okay. It was like, I didn't understand what that was.
Oh, yeah, it was that.
Whip your... girls pop out and you lift up your shirt and Mardi Gras them?
Funny thing you mentioned this. At work today we had, because if you're listening to this when this comes out, if I put it out the day that we recorded, which I probably should because it's early enough, we had a Mardi Gras like celebration, so you could go get a free cookie. And the guy who sits next to me came back with necklet like beads, and I will randomly message him and I'll just say, "Seth, show me your dick." Never seen his dick, but it makes him uncomfortable, and that's funny to me. So he came back to his desk with beads on, and I kept messaging him, "Show me your taters." And then I literally copy pasted, spammed him "tates for beads." Enough that he left the Google Hangout we were in. So I re-added him and then did it again. Yeah, so I'm really into taters, calling boobs taters today. So
Matt's going to be looking for employment soon.
I might be. Although my boss did tell me that he was going to smack my ass with the newspaper because I didn't tell everyone that something was broken.
Was it your ass's hymen that
No,
wasn't
it was,
broken? Or?
It was a double take. Yeah. Fucking double take.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to get into what we're scared of this week. But
anal fissures.
I also want to ask, just because we were talking about the MRE situation and your uncomfortableness, what's the longest you ever went without pooping?
Less than I think once or maybe twice in my life I've gone more than one day.
Jesus Christ!
I've shit twice today, and they were productive booms.
So, have I told this story on here before? The 11 days?
No, holy shit!
Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay. So when I was in college and I was ditching finals, I was a music major, so it was fine. Ditching finals to go to California.
It was expected if you're a music major.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
With a friend of mine to hang out with other friends that we all met on Prodigy back in the BBS days.
The band?
No, the
Firestarter.
bulletin board service.
I'm in a Firestarter. I could do this all night. I've been drinking. Firestarter. Yes, he is dead, by the way.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Firestarter.
It still's irrelevant. Anyway, so my friend Josh that I met through Prodigy, he lived in Flint, which is probably between where I lived before and where I live now in Michigan. And so he came down a couple of times. We hung out. Used to get Szechuan all the time, which was the best food in the world. Anyway, so we're going to go to California. We go up to his place, stay the night there so we can get up the next day and start driving this 36-hour trip or whatever. And
Did you only listen to Prodigy's Firestarter on repeat? God damn it.
I think we listened to Dweezil Zappa's Confessions the entire time.
Oh, fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
To
anyway,
your point, a
point.
very close friend of mine also gets poop shy while traveling.
Well, this was the thing. So like I wake up that morning and I'm going to take a shower and I poop. And then I like start to get into the shower and I'm like, oh, I have to poop again. And then I'm like, all right,
you just waffle stomp?
My stomach's kind of questionable. Like I'm in a weird place, weird situation, not my bathroom. I think the only bathroom in the place that he and his dad shared. And I'm like, I need to get some stuff out. But now I'm concerned for our trip. So I like grab a couple of rolls of Josh's toilet paper and I stuff in my bag, take with us on the trip. Because I don't know where we'll wind up along the way, and you don't want to be shitting outside as it is, but definitely don't want to be shitting outside without toilet paper. You don't want to have to find and make that decision of what's wipeable.
And that's a very, very good point. I'm proud of you and your butthole health.
Yeah, I'm a thinker.
Not a stinker.
I try not to. It depends on how much you wipe. So
was it like wiping a marker?
Never mind. So we make the trip out, and it's a day and a half. You know, we drive the straight way through. We're two young guys. We can stay awake all night. We drank a lot of fucking Mountain Dew. And I just like, oh, well, I guess I didn't have to go because the whole trip, and I no real bathroom breaks. And then we get there, and we're hanging out with my friend Ann at her place, and like spoiled us fucking rotten and would take us to all these really great restaurants.
God damn it, Ann.
Yeah,
sorry,
bitch. Yeah, so and so we're going to all these great places, and I would like my appetite was really weird. Like I didn't want to eat. Like I'd be hungry and I'd be looking at the food. I'm like, oh, this is really good, and I have a couple bites, and then I can't eat anymore. And my system is just all fucked up. So like 5 days go by, and I haven't pooped. And I'm like, is it because I'm just not eating? What's going on? And 7 days go by, and I'm like, I'm far away from home. I only know these people really from the internet, and you know, I've been out here with them for a week now. But this is a very delicate situation that I don't know how to handle. Day 8, I'm like, I have to confront this. I need some sort of just a moral support of like, tell me that I'm not going to die because I feel like I'm probably dying. I feel okay. But again, my appetite's really low. And regular meals and stuff throughout the day, just like, no, and this is good, but I just can't eat that much. And I'm not pooping. So at day 8, I'm like,
if you do it right, eventually you'll poop out your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, guys, I don't know how to approach this, how to say this. And it's not like I hadn't been going to the bathroom, making an effort. It just wasn't happening. And they're like, that's scary. That's really weird. They're like, 8 days? Like, you haven't, since Josh was doing the math. He's like, wait, we left over a week ago for Michigan. Like, yep, that's the last time. I left some nice surprises for your dad, but like out here, there's nothing. There's nothing happening. Day 10, I was definitely planning on like going to the emergency room. Not because I felt an emergency, but just like there's something so wrong with me that I'm going to die. It's like when your gallbladder explodes or something inside of you and you just all rot. I'm like, I'm obviously I'm dead inside in a way that I never would have imagined before.
The way you're describing this, you could be the vocalist for a death metal band.
I should have been.
So fucking hot.
Day 11, it finally fucking happened. That was my magic day. And again, I don't know these people that well, but I did feel like it was a celebration point, so I had to share, and now I do it on podcast.
No, that's fine. 2 things. I should point out, this is episode 175, by the way.
The poop episode.
The poop episode. Today when I was at work, I peed.
It's not the only poop episode.
No, there are a lot of these are poop episodes, but I was peeing and I walked to the sink to wash my hands and someone was in the stall and I heard that they were finishing up and I just wanted to pee and get out because I don't fucking want to see you.
Yeah, I don't want to eye contact somebody that I just heard shit.
Just wait. So I'm washing my hands mostly because he comes out behind me. I know where my dick has been, so a lot of times I won't wash my hands. I'll just go back to my desk and hand sanitize. I heard him come out and I'm like, well, I have to wash my hands now because I don't want this person to think I'm a fucking dirt person. I'm like, but just put your head down, wash your hands, and get the fuck out. The guy washing his hands next to me is someone that I know, and he talks to me all the time, and he's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And I looked at him, I said, don't fucking talk to me after you walk out of taking a shit. And I just walked away.
I am exactly the same way. I don't like... There's people, like, I work with people who obviously do a lot of business, do sales calls, do all that stuff and everything.
Yep.
They fucking walk into the bathroom on their cell phone, do their business on their phone. And, like, I'm like, you can't think that they don't hear what's happening.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And I know that when I was in the stall last week or something like that, 2 guys were at the urinals, and one of them, like, was joking. He's like, oh, yeah, man, let's have a uncomfortable conversation, like the pee conversation at the urinals. And then they just fucking back and forth. I'm like, you guys are fucking animals. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my wife. Don't talk to me with your dick out. That is just fucking not okay.
So I don't mind talking to someone if I like them while I'm peeing. Like, that doesn't make me uncomfortable. But, like, my director at work, so my boss's boss, I only ever see him in the bathroom and he always talks to me while he's peeing. And I'm like, yeah, that's uncomfortable. Granted, this is a man that I have gotten so drunk that I fell over in front of before he was a director, but still it's like, dude, like before my boss was my manager, I had gotten drunk with him and like that was okay, but it's like now you're my boss. I feel like there needs to be a certain level of professionalism, even though we still have childish conversations. But it's like you're still my boss at the end of the day. Like, so when my boss's boss wants to talk to me with his dick in his hand, it's like, maybe don't.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to make a comedian reference. I have a lot of issues, and I know that they're my issues. I take stock of that. I recognize it.
Personal hang-ups exist.
Change it.
Yeah. It is what it is, man.
It is. So what are you afraid of this week?
I don't know. The earth being flat.
What was that?
The earth being flat? I really don't know.
I'll take it easy on you. I think there's one that's very, very much at the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And that is this fucking coronavirus thing, right?
Yeah, but.
Yeah, I know there's a yeah, but.
I feel like it's not like I'm not, man, I don't know enough about it to really make a really educated statement or anything.
No.
But I do feel like it's not quite as bad as people are saying, because I've heard I listened to the Your Mom's House podcast, and their like producer was out in Wuhan, came back with it, and they like quarantine. I can't fucking think of the word. They quarantined him for a little bit, and they waited for like the 14 days, and he came back to work and it was fine.
Good.
Like, so I don't doubt that it is fucking gnarly, but I also, like, from what I hear, like from stuff like that, like, is it really that bad?
Aaron asked me the other day if it was like really bad, and I said, well, the cases keep progressing. There was and stories coming from a lot of different sources, so it's hard to say what's accurate and what's not. Obviously, we've got this fucking frenzy of like keep publishing stories is going to make people click,
right?
But I do hear that it's gotten worse, and then we're seeing that it's affecting the economy, like it's making the Dow tank because all these factories and stuff that are over there are not being able to produce the things that they normally would, and businesses are taking a hit for it. You know, big businesses that can afford it, and maybe should diversify where they have their stuff made. But it's a little scary. But I think we're removed from it, so it doesn't seem to have the impact to us as it does to people overseas and everything. But it's still like how big something like that can be and how much it can affect stuff. That's intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that it's fucking gnarly and it can do a lot of damage, but
also I'm surprised it didn't happen here
yet.
Right. But I mean that it didn't, like, we're not the source of this stuff, because I feel like the anti-vax stuff is really going to come to a head at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to introduce some super trooper virus.
Yep.
That is just way fucking crazy.
But here's the other thing. I kind of feel like it's a good and a bad thing, but like I live in rural Wisconsin.
Yeah, no.
But I travel to big cities, not a ton, but often enough. But it's like I'm pretty far removed from a lot of stuff.
But you also have a septic tank.
I fucking do.
And well water.
And we're looking at getting solar.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm super pumped about, but I don't want to pay about for it.
But then I also think, like, stuff festers in those tanks. And there's always, there's certain stuff you can't flush down that you can't put down your drain. Well, like yogurt and stuff. It will really, it'll wreck your tank.
I don't have a septic tank. I have a mound, which the rules are a little looser.
Yeah, a little different.
So, like, we just have to get the toilet paper that easily biodegrades, which isn't hard to come by. And I dump bacteria down there once every 3 months that helps chew up shit.
Now, you said you do it once or twice a day.
Taking a shit?
Oh, yeah, dumping your bacteria.
Oh, that way. God damn it. No, you get these little bacteria pouches and you toss them in the toilet and then you flush it. Similar to Rid-X, but like an organic one. I don't know. I got it on Amazon. I got about like a year's worth, and then I just set a reminder kind of thing. There's also two of us shitting in a system built for a family.
Yeah.
And like we've had it, you have to get it inspected once every 3 years, and we had it inspected last year because that was like the 3-year cycle. I had never cleaned it because I don't want, and this is me being a bad homeowner, but I don't want to fucking take the thing out and spray out my own shit.
No, which is what it is. Yeah. So, I have a hard time fucking getting on myself about replacing the filter in the refrigerator for the water.
Oh.
And what do I do but drink iced tea all fucking day and night?
Yeah.
And so that matters, but it's like the empty light on your car for the gas.
It's
like,
not just a suggestion.
You say you're empty, but we can keep going. and then you just like, wow. When I open up the gas cap and it actually gasps.
Jesus like, Christ, Corey.
Oh, you just man. Yeah,
Growly, yeah, it's basically probiotics. It's just like bacteria that feeds on shit that I dump into my backyard via my toilet.
And Coulter?
Whatever you said, yes.
I said Ann Coulter.
Oh, and Coulter. Fuck, you said something and I totally had something to say about it, but I wanted to make sure I answered Crowley. Sorry. So what I was saying was, we had it cleaned last year when they did the inspection, because I was part of like the company would clean it for you, and the guy's like, yeah, it really wasn't even that bad. So it's like we're not so fucking gnarly of human beings that my septic system and mound is getting backed up and overworked.
But he said it's not that bad. But you also said that it's a septic system for a family of 4. Maybe he actually thought there was a family of 4 involved and didn't realize it was just you clogging.
No, it's the old house. Or excuse me, the old owners were a family of 4.
Okay.
Before they hated their dad. Actually, I think they hate their mom now because she's the one that fucked her coworker, but whatever. It's my house now, bitch. Beastmaster's here. Hey, there's no new Taco Bell stuff. I looked.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We got to stop doing these so often because I think Taco Bell items only come out once a month.
I feel like Taco Bell is lacking.
Fucking hate Taco Bell.
I haven't had Taco Bell in so long. Like it's probably been close to a year actually. Now that I think about it, now that I actually put the measure to it.
Dude, you want to hear some fucked up shit? DoorDash sent us like a $5 coupon, and I got really excited that food would get delivered to my house. Nope. And
that's like Comcast saying, "Hey, we're going into your area," and then all of a sudden they're like, "No, fuck you. You're next door to the place where we give up."
Well, and that's the thing. Like, Alyssa was like, "Well, that's fucking stupid. You should call and complain." And I'm like, "Well, maybe they assume that we work in Appleton, and that's why they want it." And she goes, "No." And I'm like, "Well, maybe that means they're trying to get in town." And she's like, fucking pissed, and she can't eat out. So I'm like, "You're getting way more upset than I am, and I'm the one that would utilize this service."
But then it would be the night of like, I don't want to make anything that you would be okay with. I just want to make and deal with my own stuff. And like, I don't want to deal with dinner tonight. And you would be able to use DoorDash. But then they're like, no, here's a finger up your butt.
Yeah, I would take it. She texted me earlier that she wants cake. So here I am trying to figure out how to make a confetti cake from scratch. And then realizing that I drank a little too much.
And cake is difficult, man. Like from scratch cake is not easy because a lot of what makes cake work, like the lightness and the moistness and everything else like that, really has to do with that super processed stuff that goes into them. Those powders and things are ingenious. It is not a simple thing to just do. Now a lot of people make homemade cakes and do very good homemade cakes.
I am not that person.
Yeah. And I love to bake. Don't get me wrong. But
I like to bake too. It's just a different kind. Now, Pete, we usually don't start the review for at least 30 minutes these days. We haven't even said what movie we're doing. They only know because the live video has the name in it at this point. Or if you're listening to it, everyone knows what we're already talking about. Which, well, you take a sip of that fantastic rock and rye from Faygo brand Faygo Colas. I don't even think that's their name. Crowley, it's Get Baked. We're doing Satanic Panic, which I didn't realize was like a brand new movie. I thought I was going to be watching something from the 80s.
It sounds like something from... It sounds like one of those films that's supposed to teach you about the evils of Satanism in the 60s.
Yeah, which is what I expected, which I was fine with. I wasn't unfine with this when I watched it, but it was a lot fucking weirder than I expected it to be. Yeah.
And so good news is that I chose this film sort of randomly, a little bit like I'd had it for a while and planned to get around to it, but it was one of those things that I had to like have a backup on the show in case we didn't have something planned one week. And the Soska sisters on Instagram mentioned it a week or two ago as well. And I was like, oh, okay, they're talking it up. So I definitely have an interest in seeing it more than what I had before. And then I saw, as I was watching, I'm like, oh, Rebecca Romaine's in this. I had no idea. And Jerry O'Connell, her husband, is in this too.
Holy shit. I was kind of surprised to see both of them in there.
Like, Jerry O'Connell, I know, has done a lot of dumb horror movie stuff. I think really only doing that these days. But Rebecca Romaine was kind of up the ante a little bit for me. I'm like, she's cool and classy. Not that she's incapable of doing funny, dumb shit too, but
right.
I think about her as other stuff. And I think about her a lot. other. No, and Arden Mirren. I don't remember her last name now, but she used to be on the show called Working. That was Fred Savage's vehicle when he grew up back in the late 90s. And she was on Mad TV for a while. Yeah, so it's like I'm going along with this. I'm like, this is higher quality than what I expected, and I really didn't have any expectations as it was. But I mean, it's a good cheesy horror flick, right?
I agree. It got a little out there in terms of like, and I don't want to get too far into the movie, but like the guy's heart and all that, and then when she pulled the guy's like insides out through his mouth, it was a little weird, but like I didn't hate it.
No, in fact, for me, that's when it went further than I expected it to. So to back it up, the movie starts out with this girl.
Back it up.
This girl who's pretty kind of like.
I'm not going to stop. Back it up.
Understated. And she's working at a pizza place. It starts out with her doing showing a YouTube video of her singing this song.
Which I thought was like, that was kind of shitty that they fucking made fun of her for that.
Yeah.
Like,
and,
where's
and
your
that's
YouTube video?
The guys she works with are fucking
Peck her
assholes,
head.
and one was like totally rape heavy. But she's working at this pizza place to make money. She's got no money currently, and she had like $5 that she was going to use for her gas for her moped to be able to deliver the pizzas.
Yes, and I really like the fact that the boss, like, I'm going to jump straight to the end of the movie with this comment, but the boss was like, hey, that's your $5 insulated bag fee. And she was super pissed about it. Then she gets back and takes her $5 and he goes, where's my bag? And she just doesn't fucking say anything. And like, at the end of the day, like, the least thing that she has to worry about is the fact of where that fucking pizza bag went.
Right.
Although I do kind of have, like, I thought it was stupid that the whole thing started just because she was trying to annoy people for a tip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this movie, a couple of weeks ago, well, longer than that now, but a couple of episodes ago, we did Ready or Not, which, if you are a longtime PoT listener or a short-time PoT listener, really, you would know was the movie about the woman who gets married to the guy and the family that he's a part of, who is all super rich and powerful and everything, invite her in, but they make her do this choice of playing a game, and then the game becomes hide and seek, and we're trying to kill you. So you have to survive the night to make it through it. This is the same goddamn movie. It is essentially the same goddamn movie with a few different takes on it. It's not we're doing it because we have this long-standing curse that will befall us and people die. It's we're doing it because we worship this thing Baphomet that keeps us rich and gives us power. And the young girl who comes into it isn't getting married to anybody, but she's a virgin, and the virgin that they were going to use, which is Rebecca Romaine's daughter, found out what they were going to do to her and banged some rando to have it not happen. And then her mom's just like, well, fucking kill her then, and her group of rich friends, like, well, we were going to kill her, but we gave her to our kids to kill her. And
I thought that whole thing was kind of fucking strange.
Whole lot of fucking strange.
Yeah. It was very much less than ideal, but I expected nothing out of this movie. So like when shit was weird or it just didn't make a ton of sense, like I didn't really care.
No, but for me that's what made it better. Is because my expectations started out pretty low. It seemed like the comedy was kind of meandering comedy. It wasn't super funny. It wasn't super weird. And then it just goes to, you feel like you know what's going to happen pretty fast. Is you can tell she's got enough quirks and innocence that she is probably the virgin. When you realize that this is a group who worship Satan, you're like, okay, yeah. I just didn't expect it to elevate anywhere past that. And even the whole scene with Jerry O'Connell, when he's like the husband that freaked out or whatever, and so they locked him up and they were basically turning on him. He's like, well, I'm gonna have sex with you to keep them from sacrificing you. It's like, I don't want that. He's like, no, this is to save your life. And he's like strip down everything, and she's like, no, and he grabs a gun and he starts beating her up a little bit. He's like, this is for your own good, which is just fucking its own fucking thing. And then he winds up shooting himself in the neck, and
which is fucking strange.
Which is fucking strange. But then it seemed very basic at that point. But then when you see them pulling shit out of him to use that to make a demon to chase the girl down, and then they start to elevate the other things, like when she meets the daughter, and the daughter is trying to put a spell of protection on herself because they have like a voodoo doll of her. They're going to kill her from afar. Like all that stuff starts to add up and it becomes better.
Yeah.
It just added to it.
I would like to sidebar
weird and quirky they added.
Sidebar real quick.
Yes.
I think I need another beer because Erica showed up and she has a face that's begging to be slapped. She said, my face is strange. I think I would pay someone $20 to punch you in the nose. You fuck.
The sexual tension.
We're both married.
I know.
Co-host a podcast. Plus, I don't think I can live with her.
Did I say between you and her?
Touche. Touche. She probably doesn't pick up her fucking socks.
What?
She probably drinks still water.
Ugh.
Fucking commoner.
That is,
Can you entertain people for 2 minutes?
I can try. Are you going to pause?
I don't know where you were.
I don't know where I was either. Oh, so the weirdness makes it better.
Yeah.
I wanted it to go strange. It's one of those things that it's a slow build to actually, and I don't know if it's a budgetary thing or what, but when it starts to get actually weird, it drives up the quality and the enjoyment of the film for me. Like when Rebecca Romijn starts actually casting spells and pulling intestines out of a guy to sort of read them like tea leaves. All that stuff was far more enjoyable. But there was definitely stuff that it's like, that's so weird. I don't know what the thought process was. So the girl goes, I guess we'll plot it. She goes to the rich neighborhood. Again, she has no money, so she gets all the way there. They stiff her on the tip, and then she doesn't have gas to get back to her job.
So, what was it, Wildberry or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so what I think was really weird was when the owner was like, oh, I need someone to go to Wildberry. And the guy was like, ooh, you go to Wildberry as a pizza boy, and you come back as a pizza man.
Yes.
I was like, what the fuck?
And he said all the rich people, he went there and he looked in the window and all the rich people were having an orgy, like an Eyes Wide Shut thing.
That's what I hoped.
And he went inside and he got shutted.
Yeah, I really had expected to see some pornog in this film you had chosen, and I got zero boobs. Decent cleavage.
No, I feel like there was boobs in the last scene.
Was there? I must have missed it. I was watching this
it was
at
akin
work.
to the nudity in Hereditary, which is I didn't want that at all.
I don't remember tits at the end.
Of this or Hereditary?
No, of this. Hereditary. I remember a lot of saggy boobs, eggs on a nail type shit.
I think there was a set.
In Hereditary, there was like multiple, wasn't there?
No, in Hereditary. But I mean, in this, I think there was.
Yeah.
But I was not paying that much. I wasn't looking for it. It was definitely a point of where the plot was actually paying off a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So she goes to this rich neighborhood because she works off of tips essentially. So she drives all the way out there on her moped. On the way into the rich neighborhood, there's this girl that's like skipping rope and waving at her. Probably not doing both at the same time. That's ridiculous. But she kind of waves her in. It's like this young, innocent-looking girl. And
typical woman
and
doing something.
Kind of looks at her. She's like, "What is that?" She goes up to the house. She gives them their 5 pizzas. The guy signs a credit card receipt, and then zeroes out the tip, and goes back inside. And she realizes she got shit for it. And when she can't get her moped to start because she's got no gas, she gets fed up and she's like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go back in there." And she makes her way into the place to find the dude. Doesn't really find him. He doesn't show up until the end. But she is in a room where all these people are kind of like gathered and they're having this party. and she's not paying too much attention to the details. But Rebecca Romaine starts feeding out the plot of, hey, we're here because we worship this Baphomet, and he keeps us rich and happy and all this other stuff. And Jordan Ladd is in this. Cheryl Ladd's daughter. She's like, who are you? You're not supposed to be here. She goes, oh, I'm here because this guy stiffed me on the tip. If everybody here gave me a quarter, that would equal out to whatever I need to get gas to go home. And Jordan's like, you really shouldn't be here. And they all kind of realize that she is not one of them and converge upon her. And then also like, hey, you're really weird. Do you happen to be a virgin? Well, that's a very personal question. Oh, shit, she's a virgin. And then they knock her out and put her in the room with Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, which I think is really weird. Was Jerry O'Connell's like, well, they just want a virgin, so let's fuck real quick.
Yeah, let's get this out, because that's essentially what had happened at the very beginning with Romaine's daughter, who is Matthew Modine's daughter in real life.
I don't know who these people are you're talking about without Googling them.
Matthew Modine, never mind. 80s stuff. So she gets away from Jerry O'Connell's character because he shoots himself, like running around with. I don't remember if he tries to shoot her and then he looks at the gun and then shoots himself.
I think that's what it was. Like he was looking to see why the gun didn't go off, and that's when he shoots himself in the neck, which is fucking stupid. And then the chick,
stupid move.
And then what's her fucking face reaches down his neck to pull out his heart.
Yeah,
it does not work that way.
Well, I think I don't even know if it was his heart or his soul or what, but she digs around in him, and
whatever it is, they bake it in the oven with time
to make it into a demon. And so they start introducing this kind of supernatural aspect beyond just like we're demon worshippers. Like she actually does spells and shit. And Artemirin is the gypsy woman, and they keep doing all this stuff. But she runs away and tries to, Matthew Modine was in Stranger Things recently. But he's
no weird. One cares what you think, Erica. I still have
she runs away to another house, and it's kind of like that Chainsaw Massacre thing of like, oh, I'll run to the gas station and get help, and then the gas station people are in on it. She runs to this house, and there's this girl there who's babysitting these two boys, and she's telling her all this stuff. And she's like, okay, yeah, we'll call the police. And she's like, here, drink this Coke. You need to calm him down. And she doesn't drink the Coke, and one of the boys does. And all of a sudden, that little kid is fucking dead.
Yeah. He had a serious case of being dead.
Or knocked out. She's like, how would you give a kid a Coke? And she's like, why are you putting stuff in my Coke?
No, and then she says he's diabetic.
Right.
Or whatever.
But she keeps hearing like this moaning from upstairs, and she's fighting with the girl who's babysitting, and she goes upstairs, and then the girl's sister got this giant drill dick strap on her. And, like, again, this is not a point where we're at nudity.
I fucking loved the fact that she came out with a big ass dildo on.
Yeah. And again, this is a moment of like, why is this in here? What is this about? What is this movie? And it was that she was going to, as I established, their parents gave Rebecca Romaine's daughter that had lost her virginity at the last second, and so she was no good to them anymore, had given her to their daughters to have fun with, basically to kill her in a torturous way with a dildo. And then
you can't say dildo and not giggle.
I know, it's fun.
Yeah.
But then the sisters are trying to fight with the main girl. Sam? Was her name Sam? I don't remember.
I think so.
Yeah, because all the Sams have a code. Like, Sams have to help Sams out.
What was it? The Sam... Fuck. Fuck.
Like the Sam code?
Sam code.
Like the bro code?
Yeah. I was trying to... For some reason, I wanted to say Sam plan.
Yeah.
Sam code.
That would be fun.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, you're the only Sam that doesn't get this.
So Sam
then they
fights with the main girl and then knocks out of the way, and then she goes and accidentally impales herself on the dildo.
Hey,
and then the other sister with the dildo comes charging at Sam, and Sam moves out of the way, and she drills into the wall and hits the power line. So now they're both dead and electrocuted. And then she finds Rebecca Romijn's daughter tied up in the bedroom and lets her go. And she's like, "You're fucking crazy. We got to get the hell out of here."
Typical woman.
And they go and hide out in another house. And she starts pouring salt around all of the doors and windows and stuff to keep demons and stuff from getting in, which doesn't necessarily help, but it shows that she's got at least enough understanding of this stuff to try to protect herself from it.
But I really liked the fact that when whomever fucking did whatever, that she pulled through the salt circle, which very much was foreshadowing for the fact that something was going to go tits up, which did, obviously.
Or dildo up.
Oh, fuck! I wish the dildo showed out at the end. Have you ever seen a real dildo?
Not in person.
It's okay. Touche. It's an attachment for a drill, like a gun.
Okay.
It looks fucking insane. I'm glad I don't have a vagina. I'd probably hook up a car battery to one of those things.
I really, on the one hand, I want to say, who is that for? And then I'm worried that there will be an actual answer.
There are people out there who are I got a story. I got to get comfortable for this one. So last week, I went to a UW Badger basketball game for work. CDW, national company, took me and a couple coworkers on like a charter bus, which meant time to drink for your old boy. Excuse me. There were other people from other companies there. We stopped at a bar in very, very rural Wisconsin. Like, if you think I'm rural, this is more rural. It was a house called Jim's County Line. The owner works 364 days a year, and the last time he took a day off, his bar got robbed. He also told 14 perfect strangers where the key to get into his bar is. Yes, you're painting a picture here. So we played like weird shitty bar games where you would buy like a race car, playing card, which he also had doubles hanging on the ceiling. He'd turn a fan on, and then when the fan stopped, whatever card it was pointing at, that's where you won, okay? What you could win were small bottles of booze, snacks, or porno DVDs. Someone had a porno DVD sitting out. It was called Double Penetration. That's the name. Not even that great. One of my coworkers won Anal Anarchy 8. This is just Double Penetration.
But the problem with getting that is that you really have to make it through Anal Anarchies 1 through 7 to know where the plot picks up for 8.
No bearing on this story. But yeah, you're right. So Double Penetration is floating around. This lady is looking at it, and the cover is just a woman's back end with penis, just living up to the name.
Okay, so
Okay.
2. I was
It's
afraid you were
just
going to
2.
say 3, and it was going to really throw my game.
No, it was Double Penetration. Double Penetration. So she's holding it, and she looks at me, and she's like, "This looks fun, doesn't it?" I was like, "Fucking A, Janine, I just met you. Don't tell me that." So I'm here. She's in front of me. To my right, to the left. To the left is like the person that we're with that reports to her. And I looked at him and I said, "Holy shit, man, I hope you don't have a 1-on-1 tomorrow, because that will be uncomfortable." And she looks at me and she goes, "It's a 2-on-1. I was like,
yes.
God damn it, Janine, stop.
Janine's now my favorite person ever.
It gets better. Her
I want
boss
to go to your company picnic.
Her boss strolls. I don't work with her. Her boss strolls over, and I was like, "Holy shit, man, this just fucking happened." And he goes, "Janine, tomorrow's a 4-on-1. You know this." I'm like, I gotta fucking go. Like, this has gotten so uncomfortable. Myself and my coworkers,
Janine.
myself and my coworkers were concerned that we party too hard for these people we've never met, and it turns out they party so much harder than we do.
Yeah.
Fucking Janine.
Well, that is the definition of a party, is fucking Janine.
If I wasn't married, I may have dabbled in that, but I love my wife.
As the penetrator or the penetratee?
Isn't anything 3 or more a gangbang? Yeah, 3. Anything more than 3 is Three's Company. Gangbang. Yeah.
3 is basically a power trio. It's you've got your guitarist, your bassist and or keyboardist.
The bassist is the one getting stuffed like a fucking Christmas sausage.
Well, yeah, because he's the low section.
I think that's what I'm saying, and he's also the most meaningless in a band. Yeah, if you have more than 3 people, someone's just jerking off, waiting for their turn. Unless you have more than 2 women, which we are not living in Los Angeles. That doesn't happen here. I've never been in a situation that's more than just a one-on-one because I can't keep one woman happy. How am I going to keep 2?
No, that's true. 3. I don't need that kind of frustration.
Yeah, that's just fucking...
But on the other hand, it would be really nice to just kind of, like, my part's done. I can relax. and you guys,
when's my halftime?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you just pick up a comic book and...
I'm a little tired.
A little snack. Bet there's king cake at the orgy. Oh, God damn
Play
it.
with my phone. You know what? Is that possible? Just like... Make a quesadilla.
It's been a while since I've been this drunk while recording.
Probably not finger foods, I guess. Probably not anything you eat with your hands.
gonna get pussy juice on the celery. I don't know where we are.
I don't care. I don't even care.
Me neither. So Beatmaster says a drummer bashing the bassist. Dang. My bassist, the bassist in my band, I hate to say is literally one of my best friends. He's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. I love that man to death. And
he's fucking worthless. He's like not even a waste of skin because most of that is really just acne. He is a horrible fucking person. He really, I would feed him to my dogs.
Fucking nice.
Throw him up so much, and I would feel bad for my dogs.
No one wants to come
no talent or intelligence.
He's fucking really great at bass too. But I cannot pass up an opportunity to. None of my dogs want to hang out with me. I wonder why. Erica, I won't even let Erica take the opportunity. And my dogs looked at me and they said, "Wow, you're fucking ugly," and they walked away. Anyways, my bassist, I love the guy. He's actually a phenomenal bass player, but I have to give him shit because...
What is that hill to climb?
What's that?
He's a phenomenal bass player. Like, okay, that's an achievement of what? Like, I can skip rope twice?
He's basically double dutching by himself. Fuck, I just hear feet.
You're just open E for a whole fucking song.
Well, no, we play harder music than that.
Who's a good bassist? I was driving home and
Fieldy
Mr. Big
from
came on the
Korn.
radio. So Billy Sheehan, who used to impress people by putting his bass flat and playing it like a piano. Because it's impressive when it's not being played like a bass. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Who's Larry Graham and why is he laughing?
The inventor of the graham cracker. Which is just as tasteless and pointless as a bassist.
Wow.
Yeah, so the girls are hiding out in a house. I don't know. I kind of lose it after that. Like it. I know it remains fun. Oh, Rebecca Romaine.
Oh, he invented this slap, so him and Davey 504 are best buds.
I'm surprised Matt doesn't aim him towards Erica. So Rebecca Romaine,
because of her love of graham crackers, or being slapped.
Because exactly. Rebecca Romaine calls.
All right.
She finds Sam's phone and she calls the dude from the pizza place that she works with that keeps trying to refer to her as his girlfriend, even though she doesn't have any interest in him. And he comes out because she's like, "Yeah, I've got cocaine and I'm like ready to bang some strangers and why don't you get your ass out here?" And he's the kind of guy who's like, "Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I'm gonna go get some strange from someone I've never met and get coked up." And what it was really, level of great people. And so she basically casts a spell on him, and then she starts pulling out his insides to cast his tea leaves. And then the group that are of all her friends and stuff who are trying to summon Baphomet and kind of ostracize her because they think she fucked up, they come in and they stick a big spike in her head. Like they're like, you lost this girl and you fucked up. And then one of them stabs her in the head right as she's saying, well, I know where she is. And they're like, oh shit, we fucked up. But she's not dead. And she comes back and she heals herself by eating a lot of human flesh.
Vegetables.
Yeah.
She eats fucking John Connolly's heart.
Right.
What's his real name? Tim?
Jerry O'Connell?
Jerry! I was sitting at my desk and I'm like, John O'Connell? Jimmy O'Connell? Yeah, that Jerry. He eats Jerry's heart.
So the two girls leave a trap in the house. They call Aaron Mirren or whatever and have them all come over there and fuck some of them up. And they go running away. But Rebecca Romaine catches them, finds them, casts a spell on them, brings it back, and they set them up for the sacrifice. At which point in time, our girl Sam loses her virginity, gets pregnant, and has a baby all at once. That was the pitch that Rebecca Romaine made.
That was fucking insane.
Fucking insane, right?
Defied biologics.
Also kills her daughter. Just like
bitch had it coming.
She's like, I'm sick of your shit, and she just slices her throat. And they had become like Sam and her had become really good friends, you know, over time. Mm-hmm. And so that was a big bummer. That was a big bummer for the movie. Mm-hmm. And so she's about to give birth to this Baphomet thing, and everybody's out there having a good old time, worshiping Satan, as you do.
I also want to point out the fact that Baphomet doesn't have 3 heads.
No.
There's Baphomet statues that stand in our country with 1 fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my biggest complaint about this movie, but not even a real complaint.
Yeah, but what's a little extra head between friends?
That's when shit gets weird and you can't hang out anymore because you're like, oh, she blew me.
Yep. And we actually get to see like a demon dance around in the group.
No, so again, Pete, I've never seen Baphomet without his pants on. All right, man. You win.
It's truth. So while Sam is about to go through this whole like shitstorm of everything, all of a sudden she opens her eyes and that little girl who waved to her on the way into the neighborhood is there. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, I'm Samalagalaga.
Mm-hmm.
Some demon name. She's like, I am sick of these motherfuckers trying to bring Baphomet around. Baphomet is like lowball. I'm up here. Baphomet's down here. I'm up here. Baphomet's down here. I'm a little girl. He's got 3 heads that he shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. So she's like, I'm going to just fuck these people up. And Sam's like, well, that's cool. Can I go away? She's like, no. I'm going to kill you too, but I'm just here to like chat with you and let you know that I'm going to fuck these people up. Well, what about the Sam code? She's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, my name's Sam and your name is Sam. So the Sam code says we got to look out for each other. So this was the little girl has these 2 rabbits, which is what Sam has been concentrating on this whole time because her friend died and some backstory. That doesn't matter.
I actually thought that this was super clever.
Yeah.
And I God damn it, get up here. I thought it was a really clever idea for her to say that.
Right. It does bring it around.
Yeah.
So,
like the old reach around.
Reach around and grab that 3rd penetration because that's out of here because it's just a double.
Yep.
You wait.
Yeah, there's only 2 people invited to this fuck situation. Fuctuation.
That's not right.
What?
2 dogs in a tub.
Oh yeah, no. The way you said it is bad. The way I said it was just fuctuation.
That's much better.
Yes.
You have a much healthier relationship with your language.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam wakes up and everybody at the party's getting fucked up. They're all getting killed by the little demon girl, or they're killing each other. It's just mass hysteria. And Sam like goes away, and she sees the guy who didn't tip her, and she yells at him, and then she grabs a bunny and she walks off, and she says the bunny is the name of the girl who died, her friend. And that's when she goes back to the pizza shop and gets her $5 back. And rides her moped to Australia.
Yeah, fucking calm your fucking tits. That's all I have to say about that.
I'm going to go to Australia now. And then you just see her riding her moped through the city. I'm like, how far are you?
Have you never seen the highway that connects America to Africa to New Zealand to Australia? I'm not good at geography, so if that's not right, fucking sue me, I guess.
Ride through one of those tunnels that goes straight through hell?
Yeah. Beatmaster, is there a tunnel through hell that goes through Switzerland? Switzerland. I understand what I sound like right now.
I know.
I don't even care.
That is the movie, though. Essentially.
It was a pretty fucking good movie.
It was. It turned out, like, even at the beginning, it lowballed itself. It's like, I'm just going to be, I'm crappy. But then it got better. It went up. My opinion of it finished much, much higher than I expected it to.
Yeah, there were a couple points like with the fucking where they tried to be like hyper gory or hyper graphic that I really didn't care for, but I think they were doing it in an attempt to legitimize themselves, which may or may not be correct. Ultimately, though, I didn't hate it, and the movie overall, like I did actually kind of like it. I certainly want to watch it again. I have 2 friends in mind that I plan on watching this with, actually.
Also, it is a woman director. I don't believe it was a woman who wrote it, but it was a female director who made this, which I think is always nice to see.
Right.
To have something that was just this one. And it is a very female heavy, that's a bad word, but it's more women are the focus of the story than anything. And I think that's great.
I was spending this entire time trying to find a different word for you, and then I realized that none of this matters.
None of it matters. It's not like
Nothing matters, and we'll ultimately all become worm food. Will this be the first movie that gets its score reduced because of scientific inaccuracies? No, Beat. I will not change my score because of scientific inaccuracies, because I have changed the scoring so drastically that I don't actually have to think about it.
So what is your score, Matt?
Ooh.
Do you remember how we score things here?
No, I totally do. I don't. The thing is I'm between a fuck and a Mary.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I do want to watch it again, but I don't know if I enjoyed it enough to purchase it. So I'm gonna go with like a multiple one night stand situation.
Would you go with a double penetration fuck?
I don't. Ooh, okay. So here's a really good way to look at it. I think this would be the type of lady that I would try dirty stuff with. I might spit on her if she asked me to, only if she's okay with it.
Brought you herself wearing the dildo.
I don't want that in me, and I don't think it would be very comfortable inside of her.
I mean, a dildo is kind of like a 2-person.
So
penetration.
So Beat did say friends with benefits, which I know has been
one end and then it goes right out the other end. It makes its own end.
Fuck, man, calm down. Beat says friends with benefits, which I know we've said before. Which I think this might actually be a prime candidate for friends with benefits, because I would like to continually fuck this on my terms.
But you did say that you want to rewatch this with 2 other people, therefore again implying double penetration party.
Well, it's 2 other dudes who.
Yeah.
I think Al's been on the show. Grant's been on here multiple times. We schedule,
and you probably have multiples when they double penetrate you.
we schedule biannually adult sleepovers.
I don't care if you're bi, if you're full. It doesn't matter. I'm not interested in labels.
I don't even
Matt.
know why I keep talking sometimes.
I'm just trying to help you find love.
I love my wife.
I'd fuck this movie.
I don't know why it was so. I'm not even going to stop talking. My night has become a quick mess.
My sex life.
It's the story of my sex tape. My life has become a quick mess. I guess that. What are we going to do? What do you want to do next week? Next time?
Well, you made me choose this time.
I mean,
you know what? I will throw this one out there to you because I came in the house and Aaron was watching it.
I have an idea, but I want to hear your idea first.
Aaron was watching Rings. And I don't think we've done any of the Ring movies, right?
No.
Should we wait until we have a guest that wants to do the Ring movies, or is that impossible to find? Is that like finding a person who likes Hereditary?
I've been so lazy with finding guests. But to that point, I've been listening to Aquillo.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to bring that up too.
Yes. So I guarantee you I'll finish it tomorrow because I have to go to Madison for work. So I'm on like episode 8, I think. So I'll probably finish
it like a whole run of listening. Like I want to sit down with it and spend some time just like enjoying it from start to end.
I've plowed through it pretty fucking quick. So I'm sure I'll finish it tomorrow, but I did want to talk to Amy and JF to see if they wanted to come on.
I desperately wanted to do that. I'm glad you brought it up because I keep forgetting to say things like that.
Watch this. I'll just fucking do this right now. Jay. Oh, God damn it. It's not John. Okay.
Are we really taking that long to find where F is?
No, because it's his full name on
It's in your asshole
Facebook.
Because you're getting double penetrated. You
God damn it.
loving, beautiful human being. And I'm sure that it will do so much for them to show up on this show, such as it is. Hey, Jeff, I'm drunk and I've been talking about getting penetrated all night. And now I just can't help but reach out to you. For listeners of the show, I hope all this dead air is going to get edited out, first of all, but it's not because
No, fucking of course it's not.
And secondly, if you could see the beautiful, perfect smile, Matt is just grinning so wide. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm saying all this stuff because I know he's mad, but he's also really into it.
Because none of what you said is what I sent to them.
He was so pretty when he drinks. And it's usually like, I think I'm prettier when he drinks. But now, at this moment, he looks so cute. He's like a little bashful elf.
Oh, God damn it! Why am I so bad at this? No, I just messaged him.
I'm not even going to give context of what you're saying. You're bad at.
Come here. None of my dogs want to climb up on my lap. They're like, "Fuck you, man." No, I sent him a message and I just said that you and I wanted to have him on. Who is on, right? Tommy in this scenario? Oh, Pamela and Tommy. Ooh. Whoever has the bigger dick is Tommy, and Corey and I will have to have a measuring competition. Because I'm average at best.
I definitely am not the Tommy, but I don't want to be the Pamela because of what she does with Kid Rock later on.
Oh, I forgot about that. So I actually had a really funny conversation with friends of the show, Jake and Seth, earlier today about dicks and how you would equate the size of my dick to the pencils that you'd have to push out the lead on. And I said, it's more than one. I said, whatever the average amount is. And Seth said 2 clicks. And I said, probably 1.5. I said, but if you don't push it back in, when you apply pressure after the second click, you're going to just break it off.
Right. And that's what I was worried about, because you would see these pictures of gentlemen with dicks that went well past their knee.
Yeah.
Like in the back of the magazines. And like that, first of all, that's not a reality. I know now. But as a kid, it was so intimidating, not just because like, okay, I'm not packing like that, but also because the clicky situation of your lead goes out too far and it just breaks off.
Yep. I married a 5-foot tall woman on purpose.
There, but at some point you're going to be like, yeah, I can sacrifice, but maybe it just wasn't worth it.
Yep.
Maybe it wasn't worth it to do that.
Back to the conversation of what movie we're going to do next week. The 3 that I have... This
show is sponsored by Hims.
Or Roman. The 3 movies that I have queued up: Patchwork from 2015. I saw that. I saw the look. A delightfully dark Frankenstein-themed horror comedy about a reanimated corpse made from the stitched together body parts of 3 murdered young women. This guy decides to go on a bloody quest to find their killer and avenge their deaths.
Not the direction I was expecting.
Nope. Another one, and these are both recommended by Randy Fitzsimmons, who gets outed with his real name in the St. Patty's episode. Whenever I decide that I have the courage to edit that. Tammy and the T-Rex from 1994, an evil scientist.
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
Denise Richards movie.
I had never seen it.
I've never seen it either, but I do know that it was released as not a horror movie for a long time, and I guess they finally went it back to what it was supposed to be.
The last one I have is 2019's the reboot of Black Christmas.
Ooh.
Which we could save for Christmas.
We should save it for Christmas or when I really fucking hate myself. Which could be next week.
I've heard it's pretty bad. So we can... I'm trying to think what else I have.
I like the first one.
Patchwork?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I have no expectations.
Samesies.
I think it would be fun if we concentrated, at least when we don't have guests, which has been a lot lately. If we
because I'm super fucking lazy.
That aren't well known. If we push more towards things that leave an ability to be surprised. And independent. I like the independent stuff. I'd like to get away from
Independence Day?
Yeah. Which is scary in its own way.
Yeah. Anyways, next time we're going to do Patchwork. Actually, I think it will be next week, depending on your schedule. Which will be less than a week. I don't know.
For us.
I've been drinking. I guess that'll do it for another episode, sir.
Matt, where can people find you?
Oh, yeah, there's that part.
I mean, obviously, you're going to be laying in front of your toilet for most of the night.
Nope. I got to go make some sort of jambalaya because it's Fat Tuesday. You can find me on Instagram. I almost said Twitter. Instagram, Matt the Lifeguard. Untap Matt the Lifeguard. You can find my band on Facebook and Instagram, John the Lifeguard. We have a new EP that we'll be recording in about 1 month. Yeah.
Until your bassist quits after listening to this.
No, Ken will never quit.
He's not going to listen to this.
He won't listen to this either. So 2 for 1. I also do Cast and the Furious and Monster Madness. Cast and the Furious, we're going to be doing a live show sometime later this spring, early summer, which will get announced. Monster Madness will be back for season 2 soon.
Huge.
That's what she said. What about you, Corey?
I am, of course, on this show. I might be doing something with someone else nerd soon.
Yes! Yes! Fucking yes!
And then I do a little podcast that I've done 3 episodes of so far that I don't ask you to support my Patreon. I don't ask you to like and subscribe. You can listen to it if you are, in fact, Levi Krause. I do a private show just for him. Which is very different from the 4 o'clock private show, which I just do for Matt and involves a lot more nudity.
I know Levi's listening to this. Levi, I want to do a private show for you. I want to be your private dancer, dancing for money. I don't know any other words to that song. Hire me.
What's going to be fun, and I will need to speak to you and to Beat probably, is how to figure out how to do this because I've never had to.
Nipples.
Now that I have the mixer, I can. Is when I start to involve guests.
Yeah, just let me know.
Podcast just for Levi.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you.
Yeah.
What about your wife? What else do you want to push?
The only other thing that I'm doing creatively actually stems from the podcast that I'm doing for Levi at the moment.
Anal?
That's not creative so much. We're not breaking any new ground there. It's something that I'm very excited for and we are working collectively towards something that I will gladly pimp the hell out of eventually.
Anal.
You're always pimping for anal.
That's all I've ever wanted to do.
Or pumping for anal. Black Gold, Texas tea.
Power one chick in the butt and you never want to stop.
Yeah, I do. And it'll be up to Levi if the stuff ever goes public.
Anal.
The public anal.
Public anal.
Or the very private anal. The anal that you didn't expect is the one that gets you.
Beat says Flashjack is the new sponsor. My question is, what the fuck is Flashjack?
I maybe he meant Fleshjack. I don't know. I don't know what.
If Fleshlight wants to sponsor the show, I will give lots of reviews of flashlights.
Will you do?
See, he said flashlight for him. Yeah. Oh, wait, what? Flashlight. So is Flashjack the flashlight for females?
Like, what is the fleshlight for if it's not for him?
Well, it's for him. But my point is, women have 97 billion dildos. All we have is the flashlight, which looks like a flashlight for discreet fucking.
But how much effort and money thrown towards provocative toys does it really take to get a guy off? Comparatively,
4 fingers.
Like we are not the wellspring of like make this for him. But guys will certainly invest in anything that makes their sex lives better. But it just seems like it doesn't take a lot of innovation.
Everybody look at my dog.
That was a bad segue, man.
I don't even care.
That was a really
I was just going to lick my face.
Transition. Your dog is very cute.
No, he's super cute. We had a DNA test on him. He's 100% that bitch.
I was waiting. I was so waiting.
That's so that we really had a DNA test on him. Just because he's part wiener dog, and we wanted to know if he was gonna have any health issues, and it looks like he's pretty clean.
Good.
He may have some liver issues, but he doesn't have like the back stuff that dogs have, that wiener dogs have.
Okay. And can the liver stuff? Is there a treatment? Can you?
I don't know. Alyssa sent it to me, and I'm like, I literally don't know what you're talking about. So there's if his white blood cells or something get low, then at least we know. But yeah. So, but yeah, this is Dieter. If you're watching the video,
Dieter's so sweet. It's a reason to watch the video, and then again. I mean, if you have watched the video, you've now seen it. That sweet-ass grin that Matt had as I kept talking about putting things up his butt.
It has been a while since I've drank. I'm trying to cut back to do the opposite of cultivating mass. So when these mega beers hit me, they hit me hard.
Just want to cultivate mass in your butthole.
Yeah, I'm going to poop a lot tomorrow. It's going to be like pooping your chocolate crayons. So next time we're going to do Patchwork. That's going to do it for... That's going to do it for that. Fuck. I was trying to jokingly sound like I was super shit-hammered, and then when I started to talk, I sounded kind of shit-hammered.
Fake it till you make it.
Yep. That's going to do it for another episode of the podcast. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Stay scary, everybody.